Alright, today we are going to be talking about ratios as comparisons. So ratios that are equivalent can be simplified to the same values, just like an equivalent fraction. For example, 4 to 5, 8 to 10, and 12 to 15 are all equivalent, just like 1/6, 2/12, and 3/18 are also equivalent. So scale factors. The factor or the multiplier in which both numbers in a ratio are multiplied by to form an equivalent ratio. For example, 2/5 is equivalent to 8/20 because we can multiply 2 times 4 to get to 8. And if I do it to the top, I can do it to the bottom. So 5 times 4 is also 20. So that makes 2/5 and 8/20 equivalents. Just like before, 2 times 4 is 8. And if I do it to the top, I also have to do it to the bottom. And 5 times 4 is 20. So now we are going to create two ratios that are equivalent to the ratios below. So we have 3 to 11. So I'm going to write this as a fraction and see if I can make an equivalent ratio. If I multiply 3 times 2, I can get 6. And if I do it to the top, I have to do it to the bottom. So 11 times 2 is 22. And my first equivalent ratio will be 6 to 22. And now I'm going to multiply 3/11. I'm going to take it, multiply my numerator by 3. 3 times 3 is 9. If I do it to the top, I have to do it to the bottom. And 11 times 3 is 33. So my next equivalent ratio is 9 to 33. Now we have 18 to 12. So we have 18 over 12. I'm going to go ahead and this one I'm going to take it and multiply 18 times 2. So 18 times 2 is 36. And if I do it to the top, then I have to do it to the bottom. And 12 times 2 is 24. So 18 to 12 is equivalent to 9 to 6. And now I'm going to take 18 over 12. And this time I'm going to simplify it. I'm going to divide 18 by 3. 18 divided by 3 is 6. 12 divided by 3 is 4. And 6 and 4 are both even numbers. So I know I can divide 6 by 2. And I will get 3. And if I do it to the top, then I have to do it to the bottom. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. And my new ratio is 3 to 2. On number 3, I have 6 to 10. And when I write that as a fraction, I know that I can divide both of my numbers by 2 because they are even. 6 divided by 2 is 3. And if I do it to the top, then I have to do it to the bottom. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So my second ratio is 3 to 5. Now I'm going to take 6 to 10, write it as a fraction. And this time I'm going to multiply. So 6 times 2 equals 12. And if I do it to the top, then I have to do it to the bottom. So 10 times 2 is 20. So 12 to 20 would be my third ratio. Now I'm going to determine if the ratios below are equivalent. And then I'm going to determine the multiplier or the scale factor. So my first ratio here is 2 to 5 and 8 to 20, 2/5 and 8/20. So I'm going to see if they're equivalent. So in order to do that, I want to know, is there a number that I can multiply to get to from 2 to 8? And I know that I have to multiply because from 2 to 8 I'm getting bigger. So I need to multiply something by 2 to get to 8. So 2 times 4 equals 8. And I will know that both of these ratios are equivalent if I can multiply 4 on the bottom as well and get 20. So 5 times 4 is 20. So that means that 2 to 5 and 8 to 20 are equivalent because they both have a scale factor of 4. And now on number 12, I want to know if 12 to 4 and 6 to 3 are equivalent. My first step, I want to know, can I go from 12 to 6? Since I'm getting bigger, I'm going to ask myself if I can divide 12 by anything to get to 6. And I know that 12 divided by 2 equals 6. So since I divided by 2 on top, I have to be able to divide by 2 on the bottom. So 4 divided by 2 is not 3. So these are not equivalent. And now I want to know if 8 to 6 and 20 to 15 are equivalent ratios. So to get from 8 to 20, I know that I can multiply. Well, I want to see what can I multiply by 8 to get to 20. So in order to figure that out, I'm going to divide 8 by 20. 8 goes into 22 times. 2 times 8 is 16. 20 minus 16 is 4. I cannot have remainders in 6th grade, so I'm going to add a decimal, bring it up, add a 0, bring it down. 8 goes into 45 times. So 8 times 5 is 40. 40 minus 40 is 0. So in order for me to get from 8 to 20, I have to multiply by 2.5. In order for both of these ratios to be equivalent, I have to be able to take 2.5 and multiply it by 6 to get to 15. So let's see if these are equivalent. 5 times 6 is 30. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 3 is 15. And I know that I need one number behind my decimal, so I need to put it between the 5 and the 0. And 2.5 times 6 equals 15. So these are equivalent because they have a scale factor of 2.5. And now I want to look at this last problem. This last problem says that Audrey and Megan are decorating for a birthday party. Audrey hangs 4 streamers in the same amount of time that Megan hangs 6. If Audrey hangs 12 streamers, then how many streamers can Megan hang? Determine the scale factor. So we know that if Audrey hangs 4 streamers, then Megan is going to hang 6. And we want to know how many streamers can Megan hang if Audrey hangs 12. So, to find my answer, if Audrey goes from 4 to 12, I know that I can multiply 4 by 3 to get to 12. So, if I do it to the top, I have to do it to the bottom. And 6 times 3 equals 18. So when Audrey hangs 12 streamers, Megan will hang 18 streamers. All right, go ahead and glue this into your journals and make sure you write your summary in Schoology.